The Cathedral of St. Paul was established in 1915 and was actually the first Episcopal cathedral in the state of Pennsylvania. St. Paul's Parish was started in the early 1800s, and the first choir of men and boys was formed in the late 1800s, and in that choir was Harry T. Burley, who was born and raised in Erie, baptized in St. Paul's Episcopal Church here, became a chorister, and later was buried from this cathedral. And ironically, it was one of the very first years that the current children's choir that we have, that is now 25 years old, it was one of the first things that they sang for was for the reinterment of Harry T. Burley. So this cathedral has quite a legacy, and so quite a few dignitaries and a lot of historical significance. And music has always played an important role here at the cathedral. As you read back in historical documents, it's often commented on of the fine music and the strong congregational singing and the importance that music played in the role of St. Paul's Parish and now in the last 100 years as St. Paul's Cathedral.
The choral tradition in the Anglican Episcopal Cathedral tradition is first of all about the worship of God, and that doesn't need much justification beyond itself, but it's about the worship of God, and it enriches the worship of God by including children, and that enriches everyone's experience of worship. And then for those children, I think about how it forms them, not only in the tradition, but their relationships with each other and with other people. And then as they grow older, I've seen children who become deep people of faith as adults, shaped and formed by having sung in a choir like this, and others who may not, but it still is inside of them, those words that they sang when they were a young person become a part of who they are for the rest of their lives.
And I started at a really young age, and when I first started I didn't really know how to read music or anything, and everyone starts out that way.
I started when I was, I think, 7 or 8. It was in 2nd grade. I'd never been to a music class. I'd never taken any instrument. I came here, and throughout the 8 or 9 years that I've been here, I have learned a lot.
We sing the national anthem probably like 2 to 3 times a year at different places, and it's really fun when we sing at the Bayhawks game for the national anthem, and then I'll go to school the next day and my friends will be like, "Oh, I saw you sing with your choir and you guys were amazing."
I'm kind of sad when people say they don't have the time to do at least kids choir, because it's only an hour and a half. That's only a tiny bit of your day, and there's so much to learn. It's really worth your time.
We've been able to go to places like Washington, D.C. and sing at the cathedral, and we all rent a big coach bus and we all really bond together. And we go to Cleveland every year, and there's just lots of traveling, so we really get around.
The first choir of men and boys began in 1885, and about 25 years ago is when our current choir of boys and girls was started. We have boys and girls singing as soon as they can begin to read words well. That can be around age 6, age 7, age 8, whatever it is for that particular child. Girls may sing through high school, and boys until voice change. Boys are then invited to go into the cathedral choir of men and women as a tenor or bass if they so choose. Children come from all over the community. You do not have to be an Episcopalian. You do not have to be a member of our cathedral. You can have your own church or no church affiliation at all.
When my sister and I started here, neither of us belonged to this church, and probably about half of the choir belongs to this church. So it's really nice to just have people from everywhere coming together to make music.
We only require 2 Sunday mornings a year to participate in our cathedral service. So children can participate in their own church and just come here 2 Sundays a year. The choir season starts in August with a week of choir school. It's sort of like boot camp for singers. Kids come all day long from Monday through Thursday, and they work in the full group, learning music for the new year. And then we break up into small groups, and they learn individual skills. They work on note reading, rhythm reading, sight singing, all sorts of musical things. We also have a lot of fun activities. We have some excursions and field trips during the week. We end the week with a service project that the whole group takes part in, cooking breakfast for our food pantry guests. and serving them pancakes and sausage.
My fondest memories within choir would probably be the summer camps that we used to have here for a week. It was usually in August. All of us would get together and Sharon would plan different activities for us to do, amongst singing music and everything. And since we didn't always regularly meet all summer, it was nice to get to see everybody again, like right before we went back to school, and that was always really fun for me.
So we do a lot of fun things and amidst some very serious work. The children's choir primarily sings by themselves. They sing known as the treble part in music, what sopranos would sing as adults. But they also join with our cathedral choir of men and women. So they have a chance to learn repertoire written specifically for young voices, as well as repertoire written for adult groups. So they have a wide variety of what they learn in choral music. In our services, they will sing by themselves, but they also sing with the adults. Our biggest and most popular service, I think, would be our service of lessons and carols, either during Advent or Christmas. It's an afternoon service. It begins in dark. We have candlelight, and it's based on the famous service from King's College, Cambridge, where the chorister begins with a solo of Once in Royal David City, a very coveted solo that they auditioned for quite a few weeks leading up to that. So they get to experience morning worship, evening worship. We sing concerts, sometimes with instrumentalists, sometimes with organ. So there's a wide variety of musical and liturgical experiences that they have. We hope that in the next 100 years of the cathedral, we continue to have young people participating in the music making, and that is something that they can then take with them throughout the rest of their life.